We're already recording, so I just want to go in because one, I'm a fan of you, and out of all the people that work in your industry,
I'm a little different.
You're very different. You stick out. You stick out for a multitude of reasons. So before we even get into Bob Marley or anything, just like where are you from? Because I want to get to the roots of this like holistic. Like you're a very dude. You're from what I see on your social media. You're living in Baton Rouge. You're from Baton. You're from Louisiana.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me there. So like what was your childhood like, and like kind of catch us up because I want to figure out how reggae suddenly got into your life.
So I was raised in a family where all of the women were healers. So all of my aunts and my maternal grandmother were nurses, but then my aunts were also healing touch Reiki practitioners, which is hippy dippy shit.
I know. Oh, I got my neighbor was like that. My neighbor would come up to me and be like, "Hold on, Josh, let me just." You're like,
I love it. Oh yeah, look, I know I am like out there, but I'm also a science person, so I am very skeptical a lot. But I will say, healing touch and Reiki is one of the things that has probably freaked me out the most because I was like. And then I had it done and I was like, oh my God. Like
you had an experience.
Well, I mean, you can just, scientifically energy is real. I mean, it is everything on this planet is made out of energy, non-living and living, but I could feel, where these people were with my eyes closed, not a shadow, like not seeing them move, in a completely dark room. I could feel where they were on my body. And I've had times where it made me nauseated. It made me, which is, I guess I got a lot of shit to deal with.
We all do.
And then, one time this one girl was like, she knew nothing about me. She did not know who I was. And she was like over my sacral chakra, which would be like your groin area. And that is like the center of like your sexuality. And she was like, were you ever a dancer? Cause I see you on a pole. And I was like, yeah, I was like, this girl did not know me, Yeah. So I have, that is one thing I will say that I have personally experienced and been like, okay, maybe this shit is real. But, growing up, we had that, but then we also had the fact that my family here, it's all agriculture. So there's just this deep interconnectedness with land and nature that was just embedded in me, like genetically. And so I think that has a big part of it as well, but really it was one of my aunts in particular, who is no longer, alive, but it was her in particular who really, changed my life in that way. I was probably 14 years old when I really had that like spiritual awakening. And it was fully due to her. She was involved in the Hindu. I mean, she said she was a woman of the world, but I would call her a Hindu. She went to the Hindu temple. I was surrounded by Hindus. We had Sanskrit chanting every Sunday, every other week. And so at 14 years old, I was in this super immersive cultural lifestyle. And then my dad is a history culture freak. He's a history teacher. He has multiple degrees, and history and culture is his passion. And so growing up, there was never an option to like not know about the world and about different cultures and different civilizations and how people live, not here, So I think that I just was really lucky, honestly, like that I was born into this world and community and family unit that was just really open, and that history and culture was like a definite, that wasn't an option for us. And so my dad is an atheist, my mom is not, and so I think that also helped me as well, because I got to experience this extreme Eastern spirituality. So I was in the Hindu temple. I also went to the Buddhist temple a lot. And around that time, right before my aunt passed, I met the Dalai Lama in 2013. And I also met Swamiji that same summer, which is the Hindu Dalai Lama, essentially. So I've had these transcendental like experiences as a very young woman. And it truly changed my life. And, during that time I had already struggled with it. My addiction had already started.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years sober in July.
Good for you. Good for you.
So, I had already, and I think my aunt kind of pulled me out of that, and then she died. So then I went right back in, and so
it happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, everything happens how it's supposed to, but, I've just been through some crazy shit, like not like trauma, like my parents beat me or my boyfriend, nothing like that, like crazy shit as in like worldly shit, and it just, I guess, kind of made me into this,
which is great.
Which is flower, yeah.
Which is great, and just know that it's like, for you to stick out in a positive way in an industry that you have every different type of person. You have the most extreme of it, where it's like, just let's fucking party and do fucking coke, and then you have to see you living at this, I don't even call it a farm, but you have your cottage in Baton Rouge. You post stuff on social media with you listening to, very, very, it could be from reggae to hip hop. You have chickens. I saw a post of you talking about like you are using products that aren't like hurting the environment. That's just not something.
Minus this one. That's my last thing. I'm working on it.
Yeah, but that's all. Look, if you're not doing any other drugs and all you,
I gotta have like one vice. Like, give me one vice.
Thank you. You're like literally saying what I've been saying to everybody. That's like, Josh, you're not really healthy if you're vaping, and I'm just like, well,
man. I mean, I've cut out everything else. Like,
I can't do fentanyl anymore. So please just let me have this. Yeah, that's all I've got. This strawberry custard flavor breath that I have.
Wait, but why is that like the same thing? I have a strawberry custard too.
Dude, we're interconnected soul children floating through this atmosphere of love and energy and protection. So I'm assuming when you grow up in that kind of like, community, like you're saying with your aunt and your family, music must have been a very big part of that.
Well, so that was my dad. So not only was history and culture, but tied into that was music. And so growing up, we didn't get the aux cord. Well, there wasn't an aux cord yet, but we didn't get like, it was my dad's music. So it was B-52s, a lot of British ska. He's really into British ska.
Nice.
Well, I guess ska in itself is British, but
sure.
And so then when I was around the age of 14, 15, when I was really like and now I am like one of those people who, when I get interested in something, I need to learn everything.
You're obsessed.
So I was reading at 14 years old, I was reading all of these books about, Buddhism and Siddhartha Gautama and the story of that, right? Like, cause I like the origin stories. I want to know where this came from and what it like actually means.
Yeah.
And so I was like head first in my sophomore year of high school, into drugs, but also into Thich Nhat Hanh, all of these gurus, right? And then my dad came to me at some point in that time period and was like, I think you need to like look up this thing called Rastafari. He was like, I feel like this would be like something you're really interested in. And he gave me my first reggae CD in conjunction with that, which was Steel Pulse. And I Googled Rastafari and I just read the Wikipedia page. So like, just, the basics. And I remember like, it gives me goosebumps. Like something clicked, I loved Eastern religion and I still do. And I say that Rastafari is like, if I had to pick my religion and label myself, that's what I'd pick. But really I've combined, all of these Eastern spiritualities into my own perfectly curated thing for me. But when I read about the story of Haile Selassie in Ethiopia and how Rastafari came to be, it was just a click. It was like everything made sense. And it was like so profound to me. And it just like hit something for me. And that was it. There was no going back after that.
And that's at 15.
Well, a little bit earlier than that, honestly. It was more of probably 13, 14, because I started dreading my hair as soon as I discovered Rastafari and I really got into the, I don't want to say rules, but the lifestyle guidelines. That was when I started dreading my hair, and I actually have my dread. I posted it on my story the other day. My very first dread, I cut it out 6 years ago and I've kept it. And it's about 2 feet long and I keep it in my little sentimental box. But I started that dread at 13 years old. And, you know, because that was my, so having dreads in Rastafari, and this gets like real controversial. Okay. This gets, because
please, we love controversy on this. There's never controversy on this podcast. We aren't very controversial on this podcast. The only controversy I get is when I just say like, I didn't really like this song. And then I get shit on by everybody. It's so funny because this is supposed to be this like labor of love where I'm like, I'm just going to listen to all of these records and, you know, and then put this out online. And we've been very lucky where we sold it to Spotify and a lot of money came in. But it's like, there's so many, when you talk about music, and if you say anything bad about something, like if you're a fan of it, because you get it.
Someone out there who's going to freak out.
Yes, because music is so tied to emotion. It's like if there's anything that makes me emotional, it makes me cry, it's music more than movies, more than anything, because a song reminds you of somebody you dated. It reminds you of some like of your father, of like a family member, whatever it is. And so we hold on to it so tightly that when somebody's like, yeah, I don't really like Radiohead, you're like, how could you? Just that changed my life. So
yeah, but it changed mine.
Exactly. So all right. So what controversial stuff has come up with you?
My
and
hair.
Of course, I'm assuming.
My hair. So I was trying to decide how to
take your time.
The cultural appropriation has blown up in the past 3-ish years due to TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in Baton Rouge. It is more than 50% for sure, if not even majority Black. So, you know, I grew up in the deep South, surrounded by people of color, and was always accepted. And then I stepped out into the world, and all of a sudden, I had a bunch of white women telling me I was terrible, which keyword, white women.
White women. They're always, they're the worst. They're the worst.
Just so fucking interesting to me because they're these like crusaders that think that they are speaking up for POC when in reality, you're stomping all over their voice. Let them fucking speak for themselves.
Yeah.
If someone has a personal issue with my hair and my culture and my religion, come to me. But you are screaming over their voice when they already are not given a big enough platform for their voices.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just so interesting to me. And I had this happen recently on TikTok. A fellow creator that I was working with posted me, and she has a lot of, you know, that kind of people following her, which, you know, a lot of LGBTQ and very liberal, progressive, and people got upset about my hair. But the issue there, and I want to put this disclaimer, locks and braids are different.
Yeah. Braids
were used as a protective hairstyle for slaves. There is a direct connection to slavery and the oppression of Black people.
Yeah.
That is different. Dreads do not have that correlation, okay? Mm-hmm. The first even historical sign of locks or matted hair was in something I believe was called the Minoan civilization, which was actually a European civilization. Okay, but also, you know, scratch that, Neanderthals didn't have hairbrushes. And, you know, obviously there's the question of, well, what were Neanderthals? Oh,
No, you're good. No, I love it. Go, please.
So, you know, there's the question of like, well, what race was the Neanderthals? Well, you know, I mean, the oldest human remains were found in Africa. So we could assume it was some sort of Middle Eastern African descent, right? The first human beings. But regardless, Nordic tribes, Germanic tribes, Indian sages. I mean, every civilization or like origin civilization, ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, has had locked and matted hair. Okay. So the better question, and I get this question from, there's actually this Black professor who wrote a very long dissertation on dreadlocks, right? And he said the better question than who owns them is who hasn't had them? What civilization and race hasn't had matted hair at some point?
Yeah.
And, I've spoken out a little bit about my personal bloodline. Obviously, I'm white presenting. Well, some people don't think so, but majority I am white presenting. I have lighter skin. I do have blue eyes. But I do have coarse, very thick hair. This is all my hair, but I do have indigenous blood as well as Mexican. I'm 4th generation Mexican. Yeah. And so, people jump very quickly to, you're a white girl with dreads and you must smoke a lot of weed and you're a Rasta, right? And I'm like, that is so far from the truth. One, I'm sober. Okay. So let's just knock that out the park, because a lot of white Rastas get the bad reputation because a lot of them are inauthentic and they're only doing it because the religion condones and encourages using marijuana. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I don't smoke. So that's not a thing for me. That has nothing to do with my attachment to that spirituality and that lifestyle. And so I think just people, white women, get on the idea, and I mean, some people other than white women too. I mean, it's always,
and again, it's always white women. It's always white women.
It's so fucking irritating and sickening because they just jump to, you're white and you have dreadlocks and, and that's harmful. And I'm like, I will never, ever, ever say that I have equal experience. I was born with privilege, and that is a fact. And I will never claim to have ever experienced the troubles that people of color go through ever, because I'm not ever going to know. Right. But do I have a right to my hair? Yes. Do I have a right to my religion? Yes. Do I have a right to my spirituality and my cultural practices? Yeah. And for me, it's not even a thing of cultural appropriation or appreciation, because it is me. It is me. So it's not, I'm not appreciating or appropriating. It is me. This is me. This is my bloodline. This is my culture, and so, and I'm not, referring to Rastafari as my culture. I mean, it is now because I have devoted myself to that lifestyle, you know, and it makes me really sad, especially in reference to Bob Marley, because, his whole goal was to bring Rastafari to the Western world. Mm-hmm. And he did that. And it literally gives me goosebumps. He did that on a scope that he probably never imagined. And then now you're at a point where, once again, well, if you're white, you can't be Rasta. If you're not directly from Ethiopia, you can't, all of these prejudices are coming back. And that's why at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck what people think, because I know that in the Keber Nagast, which is the Bible, essentially, Bob Marley's own words, any race, creed, sex is a child of Jah. There's no question about that. And that was he wanted to spread it to more people. And so that is what I'm concerned about. If I had read in the Keber Nagast that if you are not from Ethiopia, you cannot be in this, I probably would have never, I wouldn't have never considered.
Sure. Yeah.
But that was never the message. And I've also done a little bit of due diligence, so I actually won an award when I graduated high school for most impact on the community. I wrote a dissertation on dreadlock discrimination and the history of dreadlocks. And then I went to elementary schools throughout Baton Rouge and taught a class to to 5th, 4th graders on the history of dreadlocks, and then dreadlock discrimination, the effects it has had on people of color. And so, it's not like I'm just out here fucking bumbling around, smoking weed and having dreads, but no one ever is going to know that. And I don't owe it to people to tell them, in conversations like this, I'm more than happy to share. But am I going to go on TikTok and post my fucking DNA? What do you call it? What's the website? Online?
Your ancestry.com.
No, because I don't fucking care, dude. This is my life. I know my truth. I know my heart. I know where I'm at with it. And I know how I was raised. And I also know that the majority of people on TikTok who look and act like me are inauthentic and just do a bunch of ketamine and think they're enlightened, but have never sat for 10 minutes in silence with themselves. you know? So I just don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to ever disrespect the POC community in any way. And I think that's mostly why I don't speak out more on it. And I just kind of delete comments or whatever, because, you know, I did grow up. I mean, the high school I graduated from, there were 10 white kids in my graduating class. Like,
I mean, I know what Louisiana is like. Louisiana is like, and it's also, if it's white, it's like poor white, like really like, you know,
well, and it's funny because you do have the 1%ers, but it's not like middle class white people. It's like very wealthy white people. So there's a very big like gap, right?
Sure.
And I was middle class, right? You know, my mom was, she was like the breadwinner boss bitch. And my dad was like the guy who like followed his passions and, you know, did what he wanted to do. And so I, you know, never had to like want for anything. Was I spoiled? I would not say so. I've worked from the age of 15. You know, there was never, my mom is an accountant. Okay. So this was, you work for what you get. You know, my parents, my mom grew up in the projects, you know, in Baton Rouge and not far from actually where I am right now. And she put herself through college, you know? So it's just interesting because this narrative gets like tacked on so quick. Like, you're white, you have money. And I'm like, God, like that was not, you know, I was a drug addict for 10 years. Like I don't need to say too much, but like, you know, I ran around. Circles of people that starts with a G, ends with a G, you know? So like, I you know, I've lived a very interesting life, and I just wish that people would like keep a little bit more of an open mind. But I also know that I'm not very good at that either, because sometimes when I see white people with dreads acting like how I've described, right? Smoking all their, you know, weed and just out here like, oh, Bob Marley for life, Jamaica. And I'm like, Jamaica? What are you talking about? This is from Ethiopia. Like, what are you talking about? You know? Yeah. And, you know, they have no idea who Marcus Garvey is. They have no idea who Haile Selassie is. They have no idea what Rastafari even means. And so I judge them and I understand. So I do get it, you know, from an outward perspective, I get it. And it's hard to keep that open mind and to like ask people about themselves. It's hard. And so, you know, at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, and this is the thing that I have to deal with as when you put your art out there or you're putting yourself out in public, you know, never read comments. Everybody's going to have a problem. Never read the comments. Just do what you love. Be who you are. Be a good person. Be true. And especially in your situation with somebody that is getting flack for their hair, when you grew up in a household that was very, very open to different cultures and spirituality.
It's kind of a culture shock for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I did also growing up in Baton Rouge, you know, in high school, and this is fucking horrific, okay, looking back, but in high school, my friends were like, why won't you say the N-word? Say it. And I was like, and my mom, you know, I don't even think I'd ever heard someone actually speak the N-word ever, because in my house, that was just out of that didn't even exist. You know, you did not say that. And so in school, all my friends were like, just say it, you know? And they were, you know, my friends were Black. I did not hang out with the white people in my school because they were like even worse off than I was with the drug stuff. So I like stayed away from them.
Sure.
And I was trying to like clean up my act at that point because I had already gotten expelled from my other school. So I was working on, bettering myself. But I was 17 years old, you know, but so my friend,
child, that's when you make mistakes.
And then you come out into this world outside of Louisiana and it's like, there's a lot of parameters. And like, I would never say the N-word. Like that's totally not, I would never, but like, it's just funny because growing up down here, your friends wanted you to say it. They like bullied me for not saying it, you know? And then it's just such a the polarity of it all, I guess, is interesting. And, you know, none of this really started until TikTok blew up during quarantine. Before that, appropriation, you know, of course it's always existed, but it wasn't so like spotlighted. Now you get canceled a lot. And some people deserve to get canceled. Okay. Like totally.
Yes.
But some people don't. You know, some people make mistakes and then they educate themselves, you know, and I think that there's just like a big lack of like compassion and forgiveness.
Yes, completely. But if you're living this principles, if you're living the principles that Rastafari is like set aside, and this is what you believe, then you can you can do whatever the fuck you want with your hair. It doesn't make a difference. Because and that's the main thing is that, you know, what Bob Marley, to bring it back to the record, what Bob Marley, you know, if you go through the songs that are on this record, like Get Up, Stand Up, it's not just his fight. It's like, that's a call for you to like stand up for what you believe in, like who you are. And it could be, you know, in the immediate time that you wrote the song, it could be, you know, dude, I hate to say it, but like the January 6 people could be like, fucking, I'm standing up. They think they're doing something right. That's their belief. It's to fight for what you believe in. So I think
he was fighting, you know, a very important racial. I mean, he's just such. I mean, he is just as influential as the Dalai Lama, in my opinion. You know, what he brought to our world and like our Western society is like.
It's incredible. So let me ask you this, because now I want to know, because now that I know we know a little bit about who you are, what you believe, your passion. Tell me about how Bob Marley got into your life.
So I mean, definitely, you know, from my dad. I think once he gave me my Steel Pulse CD, and I like just jumped into Rastafari. Then he gave me a Peter Tosh CD, and then of course he told me about Bob Marley, right? And you know, I started watching documentaries. I watched interviews. I know every song ever created by him, even unreleased ones. You know, and his music is not like, it's not just music. It's like psalms, you know, it's like a meditation. I mean, it's prayers, really, you know, like and it's just so powerful, the stuff and the ways that he speaks out about, you know, the racial struggles and like the war, you know, in the Back to Africa movement. I mean, that was such an insane time. You know, Marcus Garvey was a huge influence on Bob Marley, you know, and it's interesting because, you know, Bob Marley was not born Rastafari. He was born, I think, some form of Christianity. I don't remember maybe which one, but he was Christian. And Haile Selassie, so Rastafari started in the 1940s. It was when Benito Mussolini was trying to take over Ethiopia, and Haile Selassie was the emperor at the time. And so Rastafari, actually, Ras is king in Amharic, and Tafari was Haile Selassie's birth name. So it literally is him, King Tafari, like that is him. And so long story short, Haile Selassie gathered up the men of Ethiopia and went to battle against Benito Mussolini, who had, you know, modern day technology, right? Guns, weapons, stuff like that. And Haile Selassie was on the front lines with his men. They didn't have shoes on. They had handmade weapons, and they literally fought for their country, and they saved their country. I mean, and it is an incredible story. So that is the event that sparked the belief that Haile Selassie was the reincarnation of God. Because they're like, how could anyone do this? You know, like he saved us. And it was like literally seemed like an impossible feat. And also on top of that, he was just a very spiritually, I mean, he was on a higher plane, you know? I mean, there was an innate wisdom in him that you see in the Dalai Lama and other gurus like that, you know, real gurus, not fucking
not internet guru, not yeah.
Right, yeah.
Everybody's an internet guru right now. It's
insane. It's literally insane.
Just because you can post a meme, you can post a meme. You can copy and paste a meme, and you're like, you're so spiritual. It's like, no,
so scary. I'm like, you guys are getting so fucked in the head right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's an incredible story. And so Haile Selassie was going on speaking in conferences, essentially. And he went to Jamaica to speak. And so Jamaica was kind of already on this vibe from Marcus Garvey, right? The Back to Africa movement. But then Haile Selassie came and he spoke. And that brought the term and the religion itself, Rastafari, to Jamaica. And Bob Marley converted. So he was not born into Rastafari. He found it just like, you know, the rest of us have. And, you know, it's just so, and so, you know, Bob Marley has 11 children.
He's got a lot, dude. He did not pull out, dude. That motherfucker dumped. He dumped cum all throughout the world.
But his children are literal like prodigies. I mean, so I've seen Ziggy Marley. I've seen the Wailers.
Yeah.
I've seen Damian Marley. And it's funny because my parents bought me all of these tickets for like different birthdays and stuff. My parents, ones who sent me, I saw Steel Pulse.
Nice.
So my parents have sent me to all of these concerts. Like this is like their kind of thing, you know? And you know, seeing Ziggy in particular, because he's the one that like resembles Bob so
The
much.
most, yeah.
I sobbed the entire time the first time I saw him. Like security kept asking me if I was okay. I was 16 when I saw him. Because I mean, I felt Bob, you know, and it was like, oh God, makes me tear up a little bit. I mean, because it was just so powerful. Like you can feel, I mean, there's just an energy from that family that like is insane.
So you, I mean, that of course is something like, you know, seeing Ziggy. How old were you when you saw Ziggy?
16.
Okay, so you are young. So all right, so are the people that you're hanging out with into reggae music? I mean, are you just like this little nugget of Baton Rouge that's like, holy shit, like how is everybody not fucking with Bob Marley? Because I mean, for me, it was, you know, I grew up in the suburbs of Washington D.C. You know, I very like every different race, color, and creed, very middle class, and I think for me, my first experience with Bob Marley was when somebody in my friend's basement were smoking pot. Somebody puts on Legend, which I think is like, it's on this list, but I think it's like, Adam, find out when Legend. I think Legend is in like the top 20 for sure. But yeah, and that's like every one of his big songs. And it's such an easy listen. It's like immediately, you know, regardless, I think reggae might be one of the easiest musical like you know, genres to just get into. It's like I don't think there's anybody that puts on reggae is like, oh, this is terrible.
No, yeah. But it's interesting because that is, I guess, the outward perspective. But like for me, you know, the word easy is not what I would use because some of it is so like, you know, especially his songs that do get a lot more into the race struggle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just pain, you know? It's just this like deep empathy. And, you know, but I think that you're probably not gonna feel that way unless you are in it the way I am. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, oh, you know, wow, yeah, you know, fight on. But like there's just a deep generational pain, you know, in his words. And it's just insane.
And you connected with that at 14, 15 years old.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the term Indigo Child. Kind of sounds like bullshit, but
tell me.
It's actually is a little bit like widely accepted. It's not just like a hippy dippy thing. Indigo children are children that have been born after 1978, but not all children. It's a specific, I don't really know like what, it's kids that are different. Kids that are born different with this innate sense of intuitiveness, with a sense of greater purpose. It's just kids, because I've been different from day one, you know? Yeah. I mean, I was at 4 years old. I was already fucking, you know, I asked my mom what sex was when I was 4. And she told me because there was no lying to me. Like you couldn't, you know, I knew. And so I just, there was always, and so yeah, by 14, you know, I was already struggling with addiction. And I think that opened up, you know, I mean, it made a hole. And I think that spirituality filled that for me. In long term, it definitely has. Obviously, I was in and out of addiction until this last time, and hopefully I never am again. But, you know, I think that I was dealing with some things that were much larger than high school. You know, I'm genetically an addict. My mom is 39 years sober. She got sober at 15 and stayed sober. And it's interesting because I got sober the first time at 15. And it's like this generational genetic imprint, you know, and there was nothing that could have been done differently in my life that would have changed that path for me. Like that was happening regardless. I was not abused as a child. I do not have child sexual trauma. I mean, I had incredible parents who have shown me true unconditional love. And yet I was still so fucked. I was such an addict. I mean, at like 6 years old, I'd get addicted to like cream cheese on saltine cracker. You know, like the addictive behavior was there from day one. And it was just a ticking time bomb until I got my hands on drugs.
Yeah.
Which high school would be that time. And I mean, I started at 13. It's a little young, but so I think I was just dealing with things that were like so far beyond teenage life. And so with that came other things that were far beyond teenage life. You know, I would meditate and do Sanskrit chants on our lunch breaks at school. Like I have photos actually of me doing it in the front yard of Baton Rouge High. And like the kids thought I was fucking insane for more reasons than that. Obviously I was also a drug addict. So like there was that little detail too. And I would like dance on the cafeteria tables for quarters. So like, you know, things were a little weird. You're
making the most of it. There's nothing weird.
In addiction, your behavior is so fucking out there. Like, and I think I was extremely hypersexualized. Well, I've always been hypersexual. I think that's just like a character trait. You know, I think that's who I am, part of who I am, but it also ties in with addiction too. It's that addiction to adrenaline, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, you know, kids, but they definitely thought I was fucking whack. Like, I mean, I have drawings actually, and I keep a lot of stuff. But I have photos of this one drawing that my friend, his name was Finn, drew of me our sophomore year. And it was like this guy praying, a woman, and it had her boobs out. And he had a triangle drawn from the third eye to the nipples and wrote, "This is why Indica doesn't wear a bra." Because I truly believe, and I didn't wear a bra. I would show up to high school without shoes. Obviously I got expelled, but, you know, he even knew that I did believe there was some larger, deeper connection to this naturalistic like lifestyle I was already living at 15 years old, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's my reality. So it's very normal. But then as I've obviously have become someone in the public eye and I start talking about it and I'm like, oh, this was not everyone else's experience. Like, you know, other 14-year-olds, like, I don't know, playing with their friends. Like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for all the experiences that I've had because now I'm, you know, 24 years old and I'm really fucking successful. And I don't think that it would be like that if I had not started that journey so young, you know, because now I'm 5 years into recovery. And, you know, if I had started at 20, I would not be there probably until my mid 30s, you know? So I'm like, fuck dude, get it out the way. I did end up graduating high school. I did go to college. I'm going to college again. You know, I own my own business. I have won awards for sucking dick. Like, you know, I mean, so, you know, I made it, I guess, you know, I'm here. We're here, you know?
Are you happy?
I am. I really am.
Then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what they say on TikTok. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you. If as long as I love this. Keep your side of the street clean. Just keep it clean. Be a good person.
And it all comes back tenfold. It really does. Like I have stayed authentic to myself from the beginning in my porn career, and it has come back tenfold. Like every day of my life, I see the payoff from coming into this and saying, no, I'm not going to conform to everything you guys are telling me I need to do to be famous or to be successful. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be me and we'll see what happens, because I do trust the universe. And I trust that when you put authentic, good things out there, it comes back. And I am like the walking fucking poster child for that. I mean, truly, you know, it has paid off really. And
you're killing it, dude. Dude, you know, you're killing it. I
I
don't have an award for sucking dick. Adam doesn't have one.
I'm literally gay as fuck. So that's even another layer of the onion, you know, that I'm a lesbian doing straight porn and like killing it, you know. But I was a theater kid. I did take theater in high school and I love performing. I'm definitely a natural performer. And so it's much more about being on camera than it is about who I'm with, you know.
Sure.
Camera drives me. Once that record button is hit, I'm like, let's do it. You know, I don't give a fuck. Like, But in my personal life, yeah, no, there's none of that. Yeah.
Nice,
No,
nice.
no male species over
And Bob Marley was a lesbian. I don't know if we all knew that. He loved women. Loved
a
women.
lot of children.
When
yeah, and I mean, that's part of that music lifestyle, I think.
When did you get this record? Because you haven't, because this was what's so cool is that I was like, fuck, we gotta fill this. I leave in a week, and I was on Pornhub, and I was like, fuck, man. I was like, we follow each other. I was like, yeah, let me see if she's into it. And then when I hit you up, you were like, I own this record on vinyl. Like, it's one of my favorite records. I just knew it. It's like, we talk about energy. I was like, this, she knows reggae. I don't think that this chick is just like, you don't live the lifestyle that you're living. And I'm not just talking about your profession. I'm talking about having chickens. I'm talking about trading honey for eggs. Like, you dance. Like, I bet you smell so fucking Nag Champa-y and fucking bomb. Yeah, dude.
And like, that's one thing. My hair does not fucking stink. And I just want to say that once and fucking for all. My hair smells good as fuck. Okay. It smells so good. Everybody on set always says, like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, so you thought I was gonna stink? Like,
I mean,
I just want to put that out there. I'm clean, okay? I'm actually a little bit clean freak, to be out there in the dirt. But in my house, I definitely need to bathe. I do bathe. Okay?
Yeah, dude, and your house, dude. I bet your shit smells like essential oils. Fucking like
look, patchouli candle right here. We've got it lit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course. That's a good candle too for the people that can't see it. That ain't some fucking Trader Joe's bullshit. That's like, you got to order that, or maybe
my assistant actually gave this to me, and I love it. It's amazing. Yeah.
So tell me when you first got Burnin by the Wailers.
So I think the record I probably got maybe 6 or 7 years ago when I got my record player. I didn't have a record player like throughout high school. I used CDs because I drove I drove a lot of cars because I wrecked a lot of them.
I could see you having a Jeep. I could see a Jeep in your life.
No, everyone said I actually drive like a souped out custom rim Maxima SL.
Okay. All right.
And that's the Baton Rouge in me. That's the Baton Rouge in me. Like,
it does run on coconut oil, but it's it's great though.
Right. That's what I say. I'm like, I might have a Louis Vuitton and I might have acrylics on, but best believe there's dirt under them.
Yeah.
Because I'm still gonna be out there dragging my purse on the ground and digging in the dirt.
So you got the record, you got the actual record 6 years ago, but when do you think you heard this record the first time? Do you remember?
It would have been probably in 2014, which would have been my sophomore year of high school. Yeah.
So you already said what you understood about him, but like what stood out from this record to you? Like, what did you connect with? Like, Well,
so my favorite songs by him ever are actually on this record, and it's Small Axe and Duppy Conqueror. And I think I really liked those because they were not well known, but they also, so Small Axe has a little bit of kind of a slave, it's kind of like an homage to slavery, I think, Yes. I mean, that's, and then Duppy Conqueror is just this like, and once again, goosebumps, is the song where you can just hear that he is liberated, like, I'm free, like I am free. And this is where I'm meant to be. And so I think that, obviously he has very famous songs, which are all incredible as well. But those two that don't get a lot of recognition, but have like such just a deep message, I think that it just hit me. And I think what is the, of course, Get Up, Stand Up's great. I Shot the Sheriff is my dad's favorite Bob Marley song ever. So I Shot the Sheriff is also, I mean, just incredible. It's the classic. And I think it's really fucking relevant right now with, the Black men that are being slaughtered across our country by police officers. And I wish that it was like more, I would get like popular again. Cause I'm like, hey guys, this is like super relevant, and he's got a message. But I just think Small Axe and Duppy Conqueror really, really, really have always been
your jams.
Yeah. And there's actually one recording, I think it's on Apple Music, of him singing Small Axe, and it sounds like it's it must have been like a live recording. And it's just, it's just amazing. I love it. I love him. I love everything about it.
So this is my first, do I want to say, maybe I've listened to Exodus all the way through, but I think this is the first Bob Marley record in a long time that I've listened to.
Wait, I want to grab one other thing. Hold on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So that's for the first time we're talking about it on the 500. This is the first time we've hit a Marley or a Wailers album.
You want me to say that?
You can. I'm just letting you know.
I can.
And the next time, we won't talk about him again till number 181. So we've got.
You love that fact, dude. You love.
Yeah, I think it puts the album list in perspective. That's why.
Well, keep then here, Peter. When you're editing this, keep what Adam just said in there because this is all part of the foray. What do you got, In?
So this was a limited edition, the Wailers Catch a Fire album, and it's a lighter.
Dude, that's sick, dude.
Isn't that so cool?
That is so awesome.
One of my favorites, yeah. And then obviously I have the limited edition Exodus, which is like humongous. Has like a whole reading thing in it. But yeah, this one's definitely one of my favorites as well.
So let me hear it. So I'll do the little bit of background for everybody that doesn't know all the Fleece Army out there. So Burnin is the 6th record by Bob Marley and the Wailers. It's released October 1973, 6 months after Catch a Fire. It's mostly written by Marley and recorded in April of that year in Kingston, Jamaica, then mastered in London. This was the last album before band members Peter Tosh and Buddy Wailer left for solo careers. Want to know the sales, everybody? Why not? Burnin peaked at number 151 on the Billboard 200, number 41 on their Black Albums chart, which I guess, Adam, you wrote this. So is that what they used to call?
Yeah, that's what they used to call it. It was the Black Albums category, was originally known as Hot R&B in the 60s, Soul in the 70s, then back to Black Albums in the 80s, then R&B in the 90s before they got the hip-hop designation in 99. The evolution of the Black music category.
It's crazy how racist we used to be. Just like blatant. Yeah, all right, so we've got country, we've got classical music, we've got rock and roll, and then R&B, rap, hip hop, reggae, all that. That just falls under black people shit. Can we just put that in?
So fucked. Like
so
those
funny.
are such different and all, so impactful in their own way, but like such different genres. And honestly, reggae, like it should never be lumped in R&B. Hip hop, jazz, none of it, not alternative. It is reggae.
It's like, reggae.
It is reggae. It's not ska. It is reggae. And, it's definitely its own thing. And it's so, I love that, he was making music in the 60s and 70s because like that, it's just such like a symbol of that time. Like that was the fucking wake up call. Like that is when the word spiritual even, well, in the Western world, okay, because Eastern,
everywhere else it was
far before us, okay, but that is when the Western world finally caught on, and I think that he just played such a big part in that. And I think that white people owe Bob Marley a lot because he brought a new level of spirituality, whether you are a roster or not. In the 70s, this was a vibe, right? This was a spiritual vibe, and he brought that. And I think that we owe him. It was a big culture change. It was a big shift. It really was.
To go off what you're saying, I don't think if these songs are just about love, my girlfriend, just whatever. Like most songs are about like, like it's like, oh, my heart's broken or I'm in love. There's something far deeper about Bob Marley than just, and you don't even have to know if you just listen to the lyrics. Like you said it perfectly earlier. They're how did you phrase it? They're spiritual chants. They're psalms. Yes, that's it. This is why it's, something like this record is added to the National Recording Register. It's in the Library of Congress. This is like a record. This Bob Marley, anything that he did, anything that he touched was on a far bigger thing. Like the Beatles might have changed the face of music and might have recorded the greatest music ever written to mankind.
But that was all like psychedelic based. That wasn't coming from a real raw place of like generation after generation of fucking pain, you know, and then freedom, you know? So this is just, it's so profound. And I think people just like, don't even like put that together, but it is. I mean, it really is. Like in my mind, he is what I think of when I think of freedom after slavery, you know, having that voice and being able to fucking shout it to the world and just, I mean, he is a legend. He's a legend. You know?
He's and
Buju Banton, like they're legends. You know, Peter like to not die in vain. Like that man, I mean, he is also, in my opinion, just as important as Bob Marley.
Well, you're speaking of them. This is the interesting facts that Adam pulled out about this record. Well, one, I gotta say, the original album title was supposed to be Reincarnated Souls. Reincarnated Souls. I'm stupid. And after member Bunny Wailer's song of the same name, but was changed because of his departure from the group, along with the song being cut from the album being released as a B-side to Concrete Jungle. All right, these are the interesting facts. Adam loves this fact. This is the first of 5 times we're going to be talking about Bob Marley and the Wailers on the 500. Natty Dread came in at 181, Exodus at 169, Catch a Fire at 126. Jesus, dude. It was like 5 more years from now. It's going to be all Bob Marley for like 3 weeks. Then, wait, he's got, and then Legend at number 46. And then there's the 2020 rerank because we're using the 2012 Rolling Stone list. The list means nothing, by the way. List sucks.
Right.
But Legend dropped 2 spots to 48, Exodus to 71, Catch a Fire dropped to 140, and Burnin and Natty Dread didn't make the cut. So this didn't make the cut. That's crazy. All right, here are the interesting facts that Adam pulled. I like these because I read these earlier. All right. In 1974, Tosh and Livingston left the band due to their refusal to play freak clubs. What is a freak club? Did you find out what that is, Adam? Adam.
I'm pulling it up.
Find out, is that like where you just, is that the shit that's on World Star Hip Hop where they're fucking like grinding and the guy gets up on the ladder and like stage dives onto the girl's ass?
So free clubs are, to them, was places whose practices clashed with their Rastafarian beliefs.
Oh, so
Peter Tosh would have never sacrificed. Like he was as traditional to the by the book as it got for Rastafari, you know. And so I could totally see that. I doubt he would. Whereas Bob was like way more forgiving, you know, and wanting to spread it. So that would have meant, hey, well, this is a new audience. But Peter Tosh, I think, had a lot more of that that anger, you know, fair fucking enough. Like, you know, not coming in a judgmental place, but I think more of that, fuck you guys, you know, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So Tosh believed that producer Chris Blackwell, whom he called Chris Whitewurst, was responsible for the bad relationship between the band members, as he thought Blackwell released their albums under Bob Marley and the Wailers instead of the Wailers since 1969, which tested their friendship. Perry released 2 compilation records. All right, that's not important. All right, this is the one that's important. This I love. I don't know why I love it, but I do. Multiple members of the band have an odd connection that they were murdered. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just such a weird connection.
Well,
It's crazy. Several of the members were killed, including Carlton Barrett and Peter Tosh in 1987, Junior Brathwaite, who was in the group in the 60s, in 1999. That is insane.
But do not, you know, you can't get that twisted. That was assassination.
Was it?
Peter Tosh was hunted down. You know,
really?
People tried to murder Bob Marley multiple times.
Well, I know that. I know Bob. Well, Bob was doing, you talked about how Bob, when I was doing the Beatles comparison, the Beatles changed music. They changed the way we get music. They changed everything about it, the way it's accepted, the way, you know, we hear it. Bob Marley changed, he wasn't so much a rock star as he was a deity. You held him up to this, He sang a song, you know, yesterday, beautiful song by the Beatles. People like would hear a Bob Marley song and be like, I'm changing my life. Like I'm following this guy because of what he's saying. They treated him like he's Jesus.
Well, and I truly, and obviously he's a human like the rest, but I do think that he, had like Haile Selassie, I do think that I just think some people are born on this earth with an innate wisdom and higher level of consciousness. And now that doesn't take away from their humanity. Okay. They're still men. They still fuck. They still have babies. They still cheat. They still, they're still humans. But underneath that, if you took away society and all of the things that come with it, they are on a higher level of consciousness. And I think that he's just one of those people. And it was just so imminent. Like you can feel it, you watch his interview, you can feel it. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been able to like watch anything of him and not tear up, because, and even his children, being just and when I first saw Ziggy, it was a small room. And I was like, my parents got me like front row seats. And I mean, his dreads were like swinging in my face. And I could feel it. And like knowing that was, Bob's first son was like, like still makes me tear up, I mean, you can just feel it. I mean, you really can. Like, and it's transcendental. I mean, it is like, and I know how like hippy dippy that sounds, but I am a science person too. But there are some things in life that like I have not been able to explain, and that is one of them. And like the impact that it has had on my life, like, I mean, I just can't stress it enough. I mean, I have Rastafari and Ixia Behar tattooed on my wrists. Like, I have the Lion of Judah and the Star of David. These were my first tattoos. Like, I mean, it is on my body for life. When I turned 18, I knew that was what I needed on my body. I wanted an everyday reminder of what saved me, and it's right here. I mean, and this is actually, I got this at a hostel at a Rasta island off the coast of Belize. A friend of mine did it that lives out there. And, I mean, it's just, and I spend a lot of time on that Rasta island. And that's something I want to say too, is, with all the judgment here on that island, it was inhabited by, it's called Cakalker. It was taken over and inhabited by Rastas in the Caribbean in the 70s. And now it's a mixture of Rastas and Belizeans who are also very Rasta-like. There are no cars. It's a 5-mile long island. It's very small. You walk around, and I've been there a lot of times. I have friends there. I know the locals. And when I am there, not one of those people questions my spirituality.
Yeah.
When they see me on the street, it's Wagwan Rasta, yeah. Like that's it. There's no question. I am just one of them. Yeah. And like that is Rastafari. That is the human representation of it, And so if my people that also follow the path that I follow accept me, I just don't fucking give a fuck what everyone else thinks, know? And those people do accept me with fucking open arms.
Yeah. And pay attention to them pay attention to them because those are the people that are going to pay you for the rest of your life. Those are your fans, the people that love you, and the fact that you can go directly to them now with something like OnlyFans, and you can, and I see you're building your YouTube, like you're just keep doing what you're doing, and all the negativity will just keep bouncing off of you with more success. You'll it's like that layer cake, man. We're born, we smell shit, we get up higher, we smell less shit until one day you're just so far up there that you don't even remember what shit smells like. It's over. All right, I guess we have to talk about, let's talk about these 3 songs. Let's talk about Get Up, Stand Up. This peaked at number 33. So this song is considered one of Marley's greatest songs. In 2021, Rolling Stone magazine released the 500 greatest songs of all time. This came in at number 260. This is like, I think when you're talking about Bob Marley and you're talking about the greatest songs, these aren't my favorite, but these are the biggest. Get Up, Stand Up. I'd say No Woman, No Cry. Redemption Song. Three Little Birds. Like those are like icons.
I don't really like Three Little. I'm gonna be honest. Don't care. Don't listen to it. Nope. No. Because that is not. I feel like that. It's a cute song, sure.
Very cute.
But like that's not him. That's not his message. Like Redemption Song. Zimbabwe, that is his fucking message. Like that is the music that he makes that literally brings me to tears, you know?
Yeah.
And stand up, I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but if you want to say you started a movement, that's the fucking movement.
Yeah.
You know? That is the embodiment of his movement. Get up and stand up for whatever the fuck you believe in.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I mean, it's
so this song is about taking action to avoid oppression. Marley wrote it with Peter Tosh, and the song was influenced by their upbringing in Jamaica, where they had to fight for respect and acceptance for the Rastafarian religion. According to his then girlfriend, Esther Anderson, Marley wrote the song while touring Haiti, deeply moved by its poverty and the lives of Haitians. See, this is why I make fun of bands like from Orange County, California that try to make like reggae. I get it. You can make the genre. It doesn't hit the same as this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like
there is one new age reggae. Well, there's a few.
Take me there.
But there is one in particular, Tribal Seeds, and they're white Rastas, but their message is very similar, and their music impacts me in that same way.
Really?
Yes, it does. And I'm a fucking snob. I mean, I am. I like 70s reggae because that was the real movement. You know, I love Peter Tosh. I love Buju Banton. Like that is the real shit. And thank God Buju's free now. But I think he got released like 2 years ago. But anyways, so you know. But Tribal Seeds, and there's another band called Soja, which stands for Soldiers of Jah
Army. Oh, dude, I grew up. We had Jah Works. Jah Works was like our local reggae. Jah Works too. You know Jah Works?
Yeah, I like it. But Tribal Seeds and Soja is much more aligned with Bob Marley's message. Tribal Seeds gets more into the oppression surrounding weed.
Yeah.
And marijuana, you know, because in the Rastafari culture, in the Bible, when it says the weed that grew upon Solomon's grave, they believe that is marijuana. And I honestly don't necessarily think that that's not true. I can't smoke because I'm a fucking drug addict and a crackhead. Yeah. But, you know, if I could, I'm sure it'd be great. I mean, it was kind of great in high school, also kind of made me anxious. But, you know, I think that it serves its purpose, and I do think it's healing as fuck. I mean, I think medicinally, and hemp alone
is great.
It's going to be the future of the world. I mean, it's going it's sustainable. I mean, it's incredible, you know, and it's like shocking that like it's not even being used.
It's getting there. No, it's getting there. We're right there. We're right there when you have the Senate passing, you know, trying to decriminalize marijuana across the board.
And, you know, weed originally, the war on drugs, you know, started right in the 1900s, but originally hemp and the marijuana plant was outlawed in Jamestown, right? Like the first colony in America, because hemp was taking over the paper production.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even about anyone smoking it it was because it was fucking up white men's money. Yeah. That's what it's always about, you know? And so Tribal Seeds gets really, really deep into the oppression and the stigma around weed and in relation and correlation to Rastafari and the beliefs. But they also do, you know, it's also a lot. And I like that they are white Rastas who are perpetuating his message, you know, they're continuing his message. And I think that that's really important because, you know, they're the people who are like, hey, wait, they're white Rastas and they're still pushing the Back to Africa agenda, you know, because the only requirement in regards to African or being Black in Rastafari, and this has been written, is that you have a deep appreciation and reverence for the African people. And I do, you know, I mean, I could really get into that. I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's quite silly, the whole racism thing, because physiologically they are the superior race, but like, that's a whole other conversation. Because we were the ones sitting on our asses, fucking twiddling our thumbs. And they were hunter and gatherers far after we were. And yes, that's a whole evolution thing, but you know, so we're just so goofy because like white men want to feel so big and strong when in reality, you're genetically weak, you know? Yeah. No,
white people suck, dude. We suck. We suck, dude. No, you're right. I want to ask you a Patreon question. Let me get this one little fact out. So The song was frequently performed by Marley at concerts. You said Get Up, Stand Up, Adam was the last song Bob Marley ever performed.
Last song he ever performed live, and then died of cancer a few months later.
Yeah, that sucks.
This is song, I think.
Mick Jagger says this is his favorite reggae song of all time. So my question, well, this is a Patreon question from Toby McMillan. If this song is about standing up for yourself, how have you stood up for yourself in your career?
Oh God, you guys just keep making me tear up. I don't know, mama period. Maybe that's why. I don't know what it is. It could be a mixture of things, but no, I mean, I definitely.
Bob does that. Nah, Bob, look, this is a heavy record. This is a heavy record. This is like, and you're very passionate, and you were the perfect guest for this. So.
I was honored to be asked, and I was also excited to meet you because your comments. I'm like, God, dude,
dude, you leave rule, comments, dude.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like
dude,
nice
frog.
I don't know, weird shit. But anyway, so. And also
it's easier. It's nicer for me to say that than like, God damn, dude, your butt cheeks look fire right now, dude.
That shit, man. No, that's why yours always stand out. I don't remember anyone else's, but I'm like, that is funny. Who the fuck is he? I don't fucking know. He's verified. Cool, whatever.
It's that blue check mark, baby. That blue check mark gets me gets me a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it really does, though. I'm working on it.
You will. It's coming.
Eventually. How have I said? Well, I mean, and I don't say this from like an egotistical place because I know that things can come off that way, and I really don't mean it like that. But I do feel like I have changed the game. Before me, there was one actress in the industry. There's one actress in the industry with locks, Kira Noir. I think she's African American. I'm not totally sure. I could be wrong, but
I think she's biracial.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I know who you're talking about. Fan of her work too.
Yeah. And so she's the only other performer with locks. And, so not only I came in with locked hair, I came in with tattoos all over my body. Mm-hmm. I came in with no surgical work done. And also a lesbian, right? And an out and proud lesbian. And they were like, yeah, good luck. Like when I first signed on with my agency, companies were like, y'all, you've lost your mind. Like, nice try, good luck. Literally just turned me down. But the first video I shot went viral within 7 days. And then all of a sudden there's all these callbacks, and very quickly I climbed to the top. I have stayed within the top 200 on Pornhub for the entire 3 years of my career.
Wow.
And I have not, in the last 2 years, like since COVID, I've maybe shot 10 scenes, and I'm still number 161 today. And last month I was number 43. Nice. So, I think I saw there was a market. There was a market for real women. And, I'm not saying these women aren't real, but I think women with like a more natural lifestyle and aesthetic. And I couldn't find that. I didn't see that anywhere. And so I came into this and I told myself that I'm only doing this if I can stay 1000% true to myself, regardless of what my agent recommended, regardless of what producers told me. I didn't care, and it worked. And so now I know other performers that are, white or white presenting with dreads. And it's so fucking cool because before that was not there. And so, and I don't want to take full claim, I don't know what else happened in the world, but I know that there has been, a small shift amongst some communities in the industry where women are feeling, and I think also it's me and other women in the industry too, that have done this, it's like a collective thing that divine timing, but it's like totally okay now for these hippies to be making porn and to be content creators. Like I follow so many on Twitter now that I've started in the last year or two that are literally people just like me out in the fucking woods making porn. And I'm like, fucking right, dude, fucking right. And men, from my experience, want to see a real woman, somebody that they can actually see themselves with, and that was really, it just, it's something that is missing in the, and now look, I fucking love BBLs. I think these bitches are fine as fuck. I think they look incredible. If I wasn't such a pussy, you know, maybe I'd get a BBL, maybe. But, and I love women of all fucking kinds, okay? So like, there is no judgment about any surgical enhancements to people's bodies.
Do what you gotta do.
I do think that there is, yeah, well, and also just my body too. You know, I have fucking big tits and gravity does what, I haven't worn a bra since I was 13 years old. I have free the nipple tatted under my boob. Like it is I mean, you know, so I knew that I wasn't looking like everyone else. You know, I didn't have these big fake tits. I don't have perfect skin. My hair is always frizzy because I have dreads.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wear makeup. I don't even know how to do my own makeup. So I don't have this glam that everyone else had. And I think that it brought something really raw and authentic to my content that, you know, it's just kind of hard to find at some other places. And I think another big thing too is that my Instagram is my personal life and I've never changed that. So you literally get every part of me. You get me on Instagram, my at-home day-to-day life. You get sex me on Twitter. You get OnlyFans, which is my personal sex life mixed with professional. I mean, you literally get all the above. You see every part of me. And I think that people really respond really well to that because they feel like they have this like very personal connection with me. And to an extent they do, you know, my fans, I will say, are some fucking loyal motherfuckers and they know so much shit about me. Like it's shocking. It is shocking. Like when I, you know, have had life changes and stuff that I would assume no one would notice, like, oh no, these fuckers know. And they're going to post about it. You know, I mean, like it's insane. It is insane.
It is.
And,
it's insane.
You know,
especially when you put yourself out there the way that you're putting yourself out there, not just in what your job is, but you're being that open about, you know, who you are in your personal life. I mean,
well,
those are the
so much about being gay and doing porn. I'm sorry. And I'm going to straight up say it. I've never heard a porn star straight up say, we are actors. I am not turned on in a scene. And I fucking said that in Inked magazine for everyone to read, you know? I mean, because I'm tired of this narrative. I am so fucking sick of everybody pretending like porn is anything other than a movie, you know, because that is what it is. And it is damaging it's damaging young girls and young men's psyches.
Sure.
They know that this is acting and that is all it is. It is not sex education. It is not an accurate representation of what sex should or will ever be. Yeah. It's not always accurate representations of bodies or of positions or of reactions, noises, or of your bodily fluid functions. Like this stuff is acting. And I think that is when porn damages society, is when we try to pretend that it's not.
Yeah.
And so I've been really open about that. Been very open about the fact that I am gay. I'm not going to pretend that I am not gay to make people like me. I am gay, you know, and if you love me and you love my work, you're going to support me regardless. And that has worked. And I've also been very open and loud about the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, I sold nudes to raise money for George Floyd and I raised $5,000. And, you know, so I try to do whatever I can, you know, and I genuinely do. And even sometimes on Twitter, I just like, I mean, I had a fan reach out who wanted his family to be able to come to see him graduate graduate National Guard, something. And, you know, he said he was embarrassed to post this GoFundMe. So I paid the whole thing, you know? I mean, I posted on Twitter a few weeks ago, like, hey, anybody who has an active GoFundMe or is in need or whatever, posted under here, I want to help some people out. And I was specifically hoping to help POC. So I picked, you know, a few people, and actually it was funny because the majority of them were women. And I, you know, one girl, her grandma was really sick in Puerto Rico, paid for her plane ticket. Another woman, her and her husband were living in a hotel, had been fired from their jobs due to racial bias. And so I paid for their hotel for a week, you know, I mean, I do whatever I can. And I think that's where the difference the difference is.
No, I love it.
Because I'm still a real person. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm this sexual being all the time and that's all I am, because that's not it. I'm real.
No. Don't change. All right. Last questions. I ask all the guests this. Favorite song off this record?
Duppy Conqueror for sure. Yeah, no question.
I think I'm gonna go Burnin and Looting, man. I just fucking love burning shit and looting. It rules.
Fair enough.
Least favorite song on this record, and I know that's a loaded question, but what song is there? Anything on this record that you skip over?
No, I don't have a least favorite on this one. I don't think. I do have some, but not on this.
Okay. I you know what's funny is I didn't take the time to pull out the one that I like least favorite, so we'll skip that. All right. This is I ask everybody this, but this is probably true with you. What song on this record would you fuck to? What do you fucking do? But by the way, what are you putting on anyway when you fuck? It doesn't even have to be pick this record and then tell me what's your sex playlist. But start with this record first. What song? You and your girl, you guys are about to fucking scissor until 9:30 in the morning. What are you putting on?
It's a long night of scissoring.
I don't know how long
that's how it goes with lesbian sex.
Yeah, Adam, how did you not know that?
You're right. I was ignorant about that. Sorry.
Yeah, she's Team Josh now.
There's no song from this album. I cannot even say
You got to pick one. Everybody picks one. You got it. What do you fucking do? I could see you. I could see maybe if you're like, it's a shoot and, the guy hasn't taken his blue pill. Maybe you'd be like, come on, man, get up, stand up, dude. Hurry up.
That could work. That could work. I think maybe that one then.
Get up, stand up.
I go with that one.
What is your sex playlist then? What's your sex? What do you put? What do you fucking do?
That's probably gonna be more rap.
Really?
So, yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not like a romantic kind of person. Like that's not my vibe. No.
I'm not even talking about romantic. I mean, I personally, I'm Massive Attack, Portishead, like trip hoppy, like almost so the British hip hop, very sexy. Like you ever listen to Portishead?
No, but I need to.
I am going to, dude. I would love to get your thoughts on it. It rules. Massive Attack rules. British people rule. It's very sexy music, very emotional, very feminine, and very hip hoppy. I'll send you a couple things.
Okay.
But
yeah,
like, all right. So if you
more like I would do reggaeton, like Hispanic hip hop. Yeah. I've got like some masculine, and I'm not I'm very feminine aesthetically, but definitely more of like dominant energy. So yeah, honestly, more of like rap stuff, like NBA YoungBoy and Kevin Gates, like that fucked up, like I'm gonna put my, just crazy shit. I'm like, yeah, okay,
I love it.
I was a stripper, so and that's what I danced to. So I can twerk and stuff. So I think stuff that goes with that.
Okay, what are your two? What's your dance set? What are your two songs? You got 6 minutes to be on stage. What are your two songs?
Well, when I was a dancer, it would have been March Madness by Future, and then maybe hit it with Fuck Up Some Commas by Future. I love doing I would do sets of someone. So it'd be Future, be Migos, Young M.A., pretty much bounce between them.
I got out right when Migos started blowing up. I got out in 2006. My last time DJing was January 2016. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. So I was there for when Future changed strip club music forever because he created a genre that I call strip hop. It was songs made for throwing money.
Fire.
Migos had Versace out. I'm almost positive I missed Bad and Bougie.
Okay, Walk It, Talk It. Everyone in my home strip club never wanted to hear that song again.
Oh, because I danced
to it. So, but it's so. I like stuff that I can get fucking hyped to. I dance hard. Like I fucking love dancing, and so I like shit that I can just be like, just go hard. Like
yeah.
And
I love it. Dude, and I can't thank you enough for coming on. I mean it sincerely. I'm glad we're homies now.
I've been wondering who this mystery man, and one of the lesbians from The Real L Word follows you, and I was just like, guess he's cool. I don't know, like that like was a vet in my opinion, and so you know, yeah. Maybe I'll have to check out some of your comedy stuff.
You should. I'm very good at what I do. Just like you're very good at what you do, I'm very good at what I do.
I like to laugh. So.
Good. And I think I'll be in New Orleans. I'm definitely going to be there for a wedding in October, but I think we're going to I'll try to set up some kind of shows, but also I do like festivals all over the country, music festivals. Like awesome. It's great, but this is your time. I want you to promote your OnlyFans, promote your YouTube, everything, please.
Well, you can pretty much type in Indica Flower on Google, but my Instagram is Indica Flower _. OnlyFans is just Indica Flower. YouTube, just Indica Flower. Twitter, Indica Flower XXX. And those sites have my beacons link. So if you're looking for anything else, it's got my merch site. It's got my Pornhub site. It's got all of the above. So you can just click the beacons link and everything you need is right there.
There it is, dude. Guys, follow her. She rules. You really do. Thank you for coming on, darling.
Oh, thank you for having me. I was super excited when you asked me about the album. I was like, yeah, I love Bob Marley. Why? What's up? Like, what do you need?
I know.
I can talk about him all day.